All right, Shannon, on this episode, we are in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is better known as Beer City, USA.
Yes, sir, and we're getting the full experience here at Founders Brewing Company.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and Pure Brews America starts right now. All across America, the craft beer industry is exploding. I'm Ryan Terpstra, professional beer lover.
And I'm Shannon Long, founder and CEO of Brew Export.
Let us be your tour guides behind the scenes, where we will meet the key players and the beer makers and learn how they turn their dreams into reality.
We'll be traveling across the state to introduce you to some of Michigan's best beers.
It's a craft beer revolution on Pure Brews America.
Cheers to that.
I don't want to be on my deathbed and say, what if we'd done this? And so I called my buddy Mike from college, said, you know, we talked about doing this and let's go for it.
We do our best, you know. It's a rough gig, I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, Cinderella, I don't have all day here.
Get your butt here, period. It's Beer City, USA in a glass.
The beer garden out here is pretty sweet. It's got the old bar that I like to hang out at because I used to go there.
Come for live music because it's a great piece of the environment and helps you enjoy everything a little bit more.
To see them move into the old building that it used to be, and then to watch them turn it into what it is, it's just been unbelievable.
Founders Brewing Company has come a long way from their days in the old Brassworks building in downtown Grand Rapids. The craft brewing giant has been ranked one of the best breweries in the world, according to ratebeer.com. But success didn't come instantly to Dave Engbers and his crew.
You know, our beers were really well balanced, but unremarkable. They were nice beers, but quite honestly, Mike and I said, you know, this isn't really what we got into this industry for. We want beers that are big and bold and complex. And so we realized we had to do something that was different but approachable. And so we came up with this beer called Dirty Bastard. And it's a Scotch ale, it's rich, malty, 8.5% alcohol. And you know, at this time, we're also kind of on the brink of bankruptcy. So we really didn't know if it was even gonna work. And if it didn't work, you know, we're out of a job anyway. So we decided that we may as well just go for it. And anyway, Dirty Bastard hit. As soon as we did that, it was almost like a light switch. Everything became really easy and said, all right, let's just run our own business. The beers got bigger, bolder, more complex. We said we're going to become a product-driven company from here on out.
Not only did the philosophy change help make Founders a major player in the craft beer world, but they also hired Jeremy Kosmicki and gave him the freedom to do his thing.
As a home brewer, to come into a place and have your bosses tell you to go ahead and change the recipes, do whatever you got to do, make the beers better. And what an amazing opportunity. We went with that, we started changing up some recipes, come up with some new ones, and they got good response in the tap room. You know, back then people were looking for something different, you know, something besides amber ales and wheat beers and pilsners, and so we just, you know, had an opportunity to get aggressive with hops and think about barrel aging, brewing with fruits, all kinds of different stuff.
I mean, Founders wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jer. His creativity, his unwillingness to accept mediocrity. Like, Jer loves pushing the envelope. Jer's not afraid of any ingredient and playing with different recipes, different ingredients, changing our process a little bit. We don't run focus groups. We don't say, oh, this is the hottest trend. Like I always say, like, we set the trends. Bottom line is people have been brewing beer for about 10,000 years. Our philosophy is let's throw that rule book away and just do it our way, the Founders way.
I'm not especially skilled or smart brewer, but I do have a pretty good palate and I know how to get flavors out of my ingredients, and that's kind of what's carried me.
So I hear you have some work for us to do, but I definitely need to get changed, and I think you need to get out of that shirt. You don't look like we're about to get dirty right now.
No, but we will. We're gonna go, actually we're gonna clean. We're gonna clean this brewery up.
That's right here, brewing is a lot more cleaning than it is actually brewing.
Well, I thought I'd show you, you know, something besides the actual really fun stuff, but this is the stuff that we have.
The real side of being a brewer. Cool, cool. Let's go check it out. And this is your 30 barrel system, right?
This is the original. We call it the classic brew house. This brew house took us to 45,000 barrels, so it's no slouch. She gets it done.
She worked hard.
Now these days, she mostly just makes specialty beer for the tap room. I still have some smaller tanks that we like to, try out beers on, so
Awesome.
let's grab some gloves. Is that the medium? Is that too small?
I really don't have that big of hands.
What's the matter with your hands?
I don't know. They're sweaty. I'm nervous, Jeremy. What are we gonna do? Just That's not a normal hook.
That's an arrow.
I almost just totally sprayed us.
Oh my God.
Killing it. This is the cleanest this tank's ever been.
Oh, it will be. Shannon, you know what I used to do before I was a brewer?
What?
I was in auto detailing.
Oh my gosh, you love cleaning stuff.
That's how I got so good at it.
You know, when everyone says that they want to be a brewer, it's not all fun and games. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of scrubbing. All right, so I get a beer yet?
No.
Jeremy!
Back to work.
Everyone probably would be like their dream to brew with Jeremy Kosmicki.
Oh yeah, I dare you.
Let me tell you, it's not all it's cracked up to be. You just worked me so hard.
Now look at yourself.
Yeah, how am I so much dirtier than you are?
I'm a professional.
The one thing that we hear really frequently from not just beer enthusiast community, but other brewers, is that we don't make a bad beer. And that's a testimony to our team. Regardless of style, our portfolio of different brands is just super solid.
All Day IPA, this is our session IPA. It's a cool 4.7%. No, this was basically a beer we put together because we were getting old and we needed something light.
I drink a lot of beer, and so it's not uncommon for me to have 4 or 5 beers during the day at work, and then all of a sudden you got to go home and be a dad. All of a sudden I was reading to my children and I was falling asleep before they were, and so that's not very cool. So we got to create a beer that's got full flavor, complexity, but has to be something that you can be responsible.
All Day IPA has inspired a lot of other breweries to come out with a session-style IPA, but there's another founder's beer that stands alone.
I don't think we were the first brewery to ever put beer into a bourbon barrel, but I believe we were the first brewery to ever package it and send it out to market, which was Kentucky Breakfast Stout. And the first time we tried it, you immediately realize that there's magic there.
It wasn't really until some of the internet rating sites, Rate Beer, Beer Advocate, got hold of that beer, and I started to read the reviews, and people were going crazy for it, and I was like, wow, this actually has some potential. So, as we grew the volume and the reputation started to grow, it really took off for us. But I couldn't imagine that it would be one of the most sought after beers.
Well, we're just going to continue to grow. I mean, we're having fun. We've got a great team. Ultimately, it's about the beer. It's always been about the beer and making the best product we can. And I feel like we work for the beer. Anything we do has to live up to that. It's just been a hell of a ride. We love the people that we work with. We love our customers. The beer enthusiast community is just so cool. As long as we continue to have fun doing what we're doing, there's no looking back.
Well, Founders was a lot of fun, but I have to say you did a lot more cleaning than I expected in this episode.
Yeah, I kind of smell like soap, but that's okay.
All right, well, we got a lot more to see in Beer City, USA, so let's go.
Cheers.
After the break, we get a history lesson about what makes Grand Rapids Beer City, USA.
And then it's fun and games for us at Grand Rapids Brewing Company.
There it counts.
It counts.
Keep it locked right here to Pure Brews America.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
Why are you all here? To learn, right? So you can get a good job, so you're not working for peanuts. Well, what if I told you that peanuts can work for you? While you guys are busy napping, peanuts are delivering 7 grams of protein and 6 essential nutrients right to your mouth. You ever seen a peanut take a day off? No. Peanuts don't even get casual khaki Fridays. Because peanuts take their job seriously. So unless you want a life of skimming Wi-Fi off the neighbors, you'll harness the hard-working power of the peanut.
At Rogue Brewing, we have a burning passion to bring you the best beers, including Livewire, a classic American IPA that is shockingly refreshing. Powerbow, our Belgian wheat beer with summer zest. Mean Street, an American amber that is clean as it is mean. And Devil Dog, our oatmeal stout brewed in honor of our nation's veteran. Rogue Brewing Company, aggressively brewed in Royal Oak, Michigan. Rogue On.
This is The Middle, a place where somehow common sense just seems a little more common. Where people come together, look each other in the eye, and get to work. Our hands may be calloused or sometimes sore, but we raise them quickly and lend them easily. Because this is the heart of the heartland. This is Michigan, and we're big believers in more. Like we can always do a little more, give a little more, love a little more, and find ways for our families to have a little more. We were born and raised here, and for 80 years now, we've made it our business to do whatever we can to help people have and do a little more.
What is Meyer Beer Frontier?
The Beer Frontier is your online home for discovering and exploring Michigan's best breweries and beers. The Beer Frontier is a one-stop resource for event listings, recipes, and flavor profiles. You'll also find this exclusive behind-the-scenes look at one of Michigan's favorite breweries.
Meyer's a big part of getting beers in different people's hands. What role did they play for you guys in terms of spreading what you were able to do throughout the state of Michigan?
Meyer, with their reach, was an early adapter to craft beer. They realized early on that craft beer was very important to their customers. And Meyer has been a huge supporter of founders and the entire craft beer industry. And if it wasn't for them, honestly, I guarantee our building wouldn't be as big as it is now.
Yeah. Their movement towards supporting craft and Michigan craft in particular, it's great for the industry, it's great for the consumers. Kind of this trend where you don't have to go find out these specialty beer stores to get your craft beer fix. Now you're grocery shopping, and hey, Meyer's has an incredible selection. They've been great to us, so supportive, right here in our hometown and then throughout the state. It's been awesome.
Find out what's brewing around town and across the country. Let us be your guide along the Meyer Beer Frontier. Grand Rapids, Michigan earned the title Beer City USA in 2 consecutive nationwide polls in 2012 and 2013. USA Today further validated the city's craft brewing leadership by naming it America's best beer town in 2014 and best beer scene in 2016. All of this recent acclaim might make it seem that Grand Rapids is a relative newcomer to the world of craft beer.
But the roots of the local craft brewing scene extend back 180 years to 1836, when an Englishman named John Pannell built a small single-barrel brewery in what would one day become downtown Grand Rapids. Pannell later teamed up with a German immigrant, Christoph Kusterer, who brought German lagers to the city. Custer's City Brewery was one of the 4 major breweries operating in Grand Rapids at the end of the Civil War in 1865.
Several non-German brewers tried to crack the early Grand Rapids market, but their ales and porters did not catch on. The city had 7 breweries in 1879, and they were all German lager producers. By the 1880s, Anheuser-Busch constructed an ice house here to aid in local distribution. That structure still stands downtown, and it's now the home of the Grand Rapids Community Foundation.
In response to this new competition, 4 local German breweries joined together to form Grand Rapids Brewing Company. Grand Rapids Brewing became famous for its silver foam lager. Its popularity helped the brewery grow into a several-block complex with a large bottling facility, an auditorium, and apartments. At the height of its success, Grand Rapids Brewing was producing 250,000 barrels of beer each year.
That ended with the advent of Prohibition. Grand Rapids Brewing and other local breweries either closed or shifted operations to other areas. Several new breweries tried to make a go of it after Prohibition, but the last one closed in 1951, kicking off a long dry spell for local beer lovers. Thirsts were quenched in 1997 when a pair of local college classmates opened Canal Street Brewing. Today, that brewery is known as Founders Brewing Company, and is recognized as one of the planet's biggest and best craft brewers. Since then, more than 40 additional breweries have opened on the Beer City Ale Trail, including a new Grand Rapids Brewing Company, which has recreated the classic silver foam lager for a new generation.
From its humble beginnings 180 years ago to its current global acclaim, the Grand Rapids beer scene has always inspired a passionate following.
Today, fans from far and wide are becoming Beer City Brewsaders, traveling from one Grand Rapids brewery to the next with Beer City passports in hand to earn a collectible t-shirt and the envy of all their friends.
There are even more breweries and beer styles on their way to Grand Rapids in the coming months, so stay tuned for the next chapter in the rich and colorful history of Grand Rapids beer.
And I came up with the name Hopcat based on my love of jazz music, because in jazz, if you're a cool cat, you're a hep cat, and beer has hops in it, so that's how we came up with Hopcat. When we opened, we had 1,100 people in line. We had a lot of people that slept overnight. A light bulb went off in my head, and I said, maybe I'm onto something with this Hopcat concept, you know. I never wanted to own a cookie cutter chain, but when we started doing multiple locations, I said to everybody, you know, we're gonna make everyone look different, and we're gonna be the anti-chain chain. It's been kind of a wild ride.
Hey, I'm Gary from Hopcat. I'm Chris from Hopcat Detroit. Today we're gonna make beer chili. All right, we're gonna start off with about a pound of ground beef here, and we're gonna mix that with another half a pound of pork butt. Next, we're gonna add our spice mix. We're gonna get our pot going here at about medium-high, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and we're gonna get our veggies going. So we'll start off with about 1 onion, 1 jalapeno, 1 green pepper, about 2 tablespoons of garlic in there, and 2 red peppers. Now we're gonna cook these veggies until they lose a little bit of color, get see-through. Now we're gonna add our meat. So we're gonna throw about 1/3 of a cup of brown ale in here. All right, next up we're gonna add our tomatoes here. These are diced tomatoes and juice. We wanna let that cook down. We're gonna add a little tomato paste right here. All right, we're gonna add the rest of our beer here.
All right, so we're adding in about another half a cup.
We're gonna toss these kidney beans in here now.
How's that chili coming? Is it nice and thick?
It's looking pretty good, Gary. We're almost there. Just want to make sure this is the proper consistency.
Here you go. Cheers, buddy.
That's how you make beer chili.
Next on Pure Brews, an old school brewery comes back with a fresh new look.
Our trip through Beer City, USA continues with some great brews and an award-winning sandwich. When we return on Pure Brews America.
At the bar and everything's alright, just kicking back and taking my time, and I feel fine. 'Cause all I need is some fresh brewed beer, some good live music's all I wanna hear. A nice thick stout or a cool pale ale.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Classic. Here we are, big fella. Come get it, big guy.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
We want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech. Possible is everything.
Just a half-mile down the road from Founders is Grand Rapids Brewing Company, an old-school name that reopened in 2012 with a new attitude.
It's very local, steeped in tradition, good food, good beer. How can you go wrong?
Honestly, we fell in love with the bartenders first, and then the beer just kind of like kept us coming back. We like that they frequently change it out, that they really try to connect with us. They're very friendly, and it's like we have like these relationships in the brewery and then also outside.
The one word I would say is fresh and clean, and it's very good stuff. I'm very impressed.
Grand Rapids Brewing Company in its original form began in 1893. After Prohibition shut it down, it was reopened by Hopcat owner Mark Sellers and his team 92 years later.
When I got the opportunity to revive the name downtown Grand Rapids, which is where it should be, I couldn't pass it up. You know, I wanted to do an actual real brewery, and Hopcat is a little bit of a brewery. About 4 of our 48 taps are brewed in-house, but I wanted to have an actual brewery. So this space became available right down the street from the Hopcat in Grand Rapids, and it just seemed to be a perfect fit for a brewery. We have all sorts of, we have Belgian-style sours, IPAs, everything, you know, stouts, porters, but we do have some weird stuff, and that's the way I like my breweries. I don't want them to be too normal.
The brewers at GRBC are anything but normal, and Jake Brenner challenged me to a game he created called Mash Ball.
So we have our brute vessels filled with milled malt ready to go. We'll stage a brute down there, and as we dump brutes in here, we'll actually, like basketball, try to throw an empty brute into another brute.
Shannon Long, Pure Brews TV. How are you feeling about this matchup?
Nervous. I'm nervous. I've never played Mash Ball. It's news to me today. Jake has a lot of experience. The record is 7. I don't know. We'll see.
Talk about your opponent. He looks like a big softie. Do you agree?
He's bigger and sweatier than me, and he's worked he's worked in a brewery a lot longer. Good luck to him. I'm gonna kick his butt.
Ryan Terpstra back with you on Pure Brews TV. I found Andre the Giant. Actually, I think it's actually Jake. Jake, what do you think about this Mash Ball matchup?
Well, you know, the rest of the Pure Brews crew has told me that Shannon has hardly any athletic ability, so I'm not that concerned about it.
Will you utilize your glistening sweat to help spin the trash thing into the other trash thing?
Natural lubrication, that's all I got on that.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Okay. I want to lean over.
That was pretty
close.
Weird. It counts.
It counts. You're beating me. Okay, I'm really feeling this one. It's happening.
Oh, that was close.
I want to get one so bad. A little more.
Counts. It counts. It counts.
Jake, you kicked my butt.
Yes, I did. I have a lot of practice.
2-0. I didn't even make any, really. You were sweating your butt off, though, so good job. You deserve a beer and a big beer because of that win.
Couldn't agree more, Shannon. And the great thing about Grand Rapids Brewing Company is the wide array of styles that are available on tap.
This is our most popular beer.
So recipe-wise, it's a very basic blonde ale, and we infuse this with a mango tea.
Oh, that's good. That's nice. That's summer beer right there. Refreshing. Love it.
Let's try out the John Ball Brown.
Smooth, nutty malt character, but a very clean, wonderful beer. The go-to is probably the Fish Ladder IPA. It's kind of a heavier, 7% IPA.
This beer has Cascade, Palisade, Nugget, and Simcoe hops. Definitely American-style IPA. This is Grand Rapids Brewing Company's original, flagship beer.
A little bit of hop presence on the nose.
We could put quite a lot of hops in here, actually. We do all of our hops additions basically right towards the end of the boil, so you don't necessarily get much bitterness, but you get nice hop flavor and aroma.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Good job.
Thank you.
Yep, the beer is great, but so is the food. Ryan went into the kitchen to see how they make an award-winning sandwich.
All right, Todd, let's talk Grandwich. For people that don't know about this competition, what is it?
Grandwich is a big competition between, this year it's 38 restaurants, I believe, in Grand Rapids, thus it's Grandwich. A lot of them just try to outdo each other, making the best sandwich in town. It's bragging rights in town for the restaurant. They keep it on their menu for a whole year.
So what did you guys do this year?
It is a Nantucket onion roll, which is a local bakery in town. We'll grab a horsey aioli. We take our slow roasted roast beef. We got extremely hot au jus down in here. We'll let that just bathe in the au jus for a little bit. You want to get all the good juices on there. We're going to grab a couple pieces of bacon.
Is it like a prerequisite that Grandwich has to have bacon on it?
It's going to have some kind of pork on it, I think.
I feel like you can't win unless you have bacon.
This is a pepper jack cheese sauce, fresh fried onions.
I keep feeling like you're done, but we're just going to keep...
No, we're just going to keep building this thing. This is a monster, as I call it. And here's the secret ingredient. These things are just incredible. If you're a jalapeno fan, you got to try a couple of these.
Well, and if you sell enough jalapenos, people drink more beer, right?
That's the plan.
You guys got it.
Finish it with 2 fresh sliced Michigan pickles. There's our Grandwich.
That's a winning sandwich right
Oh
there.
man, it's insane.
Cheers.
It's been great to be part of Beer City, People are coming from all over the country to see us.
Well, Beer City USA is honestly the place to be. We love it because there's always something new every time. And I actually travel for work, but it's like you miss it once you leave it because you really are spoiled in the city.
The breweries around here, we really act as a team. It's not competition. So a lot of people are, in town to see Founders, but when they're visiting Founders, they're also visiting Grand Rapids Brewing Company and Hopcat. We send people up to Vivant or the Mitten, and I know it's a really friendly, awesome brewing environment.
All right, guys, we had a blast hanging out at Grand Rapids Brewing Company.
It's our pleasure.
Indeed, we came, we saw, and we drank Beer City USA.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.